Hey VC, how's everyone doing for the second time tonight? Alright, I just made this ridiculously long video on Christmas records, and it was only part one. This is part two. Hoping I'm not going to do the same thing, but we'll see. I don't know if anyone's going to get through part one, let alone get to part two. Part one I did CDs. Part two I'm going to do vinyl albums. Part three, or somewhere down there, I'm going to do 45 records. Probably do that later this week or next week because, like I said, that first one was just way too long. Let's see, in the first video, just to point out, I had the complete James Brown Christmas collection, which collected his three Christmas albums from 66, 68, and 70. In the spirit of completeness, there is actually a fourth album, 1999's The Merry Christmas album by James Brown. That's not in that collection. I've never heard it. I don't know how good 1999 James Brown music is. I'm thinking probably not that great. REM, I showed some of their Christmas. They did fan club every year release of either a 45 or a CD 45. And a couple of years, I think they did a VHS videotape. They did that for about 18, 19 years till they broke up here. And when did they break up? 208? I don't remember. But they did it from about 88 to about 208, give or take. And them and the Beatles are the only ones that did that on a yearly basis, as far as I know. I wish they would. Not a big REM fan, but their Christmas releases, they're kind of cool. They did traditional Christmas songs some years, and they did just regular songs some years. But it would be cool if they would release that as like a Black Friday limited edition album of all, what would that be, about 38, 40 songs. Just that'd be kind of cool. So if anyone from REM is in the VC and listening, take note. They're not, and they're not listening. But anyway, so yeah, Christmas music, I went through that in the first part of the video. I really love Christmas music. I don't buy anything just because it's a Christmas album. I buy it if it's someone that I know and like. Obviously, I'm not going to run out and buy. If Justin Bieber or the Red Hot Chili Peppers have a Christmas album, I don't want to hear it. So it's got to be something that I like. I will take a chance every once in a while if I see someone that I don't really know and it looks cool. I've done that, especially with the 45s that I'll show in another video. There's some people that I just saw the record, thought it looked cool, and never heard of the band and bought it. But anyway, without further ado, let's get to the albums. I'll try to do this in one video without going a half an hour, but we'll see. First up, Cool Yule. It's a 1986 release on Rhino label. Just a hodgepodge of Christmas songs. Chuck Berry, The Marquis, Solomon Burke. You got Ike and Tina Turner. They do a good one. Booker T and the MGs, The Drifters, Paul and Paula. Remember Hey Hey Paula. Got a James Brown song. Some guy named Jack Scott, who's kind of a lesser known rockabilly cat. He does a good song. So that's a pretty cool one. Lousy cover, but good record. Can't go wrong with that. This is something I ran across. I actually got this for free from an antique store. A lady I know that owns it gives me records sometimes. A Little Drummer Boy by the Voices of Christmas. This is probably a mid-60s release, I'm guessing. It's just this kind of stuff your parents would have. So it's that kind of traditional Christmas music, and it's Little Drummer Boy, Deck the Halls, Joy to the World, God Rest You Merry Gentlemen, etc., etc. Kind of cool on the back. There's some of the other releases. This is the Custom Records, the world famous Custom label. Anyway, so they got some soundtracks. Alfie, the Thoroughly Modern Millie, Dr. Dolittle, Camelot. They got something here that's kind of cool. Is more psychedelic guitar. I don't know if that shows up, but got a good looking girl on the cover and has some pretty cool songs. Psychedelic A Go Go, Can You Dig It, Lost in Space, and Psychedelic Venture. So it's a typical mid-60s, but this is just kind of the traditional music like your parents would have. That's pretty good stuff. This is one of my favorites. This is a later repressing. This isn't the original. Christmas Gift for You from Phil Spector. Got Darlene Love, the Ronettes, Bobby Sox, and the Crystals, and there's not a bad song on this. Is not a bad song on this album. This is like I said, a later pressing on the Phil Spector label. Um, this is one of the best Christmas albums. If you don't have this, rush out and buy it. And these are some of the best versions of these songs too. So, or some of my favorite versions, and they're your typical White Christmas, Frosty the Snowman, Santa Coming to Town, all that stuff. But great versions, and that's a must-have album. Let's see, Mean Mr. Mayo. I know you're a fan. I picked this up, I don't know, a year or two ago. Connie Francis, Christmas in My Heart. Again, it's kind of neat. She divides one side is the secular White Christmas, Christmas song, 12 Days of Christmas, Have Yourself a Merry Christmas, Merry Little Christmas. The second side is the more religious, Adestus Fidelis, Lord's Prayer, Silent Night, Little Town of Bethlehem, Ave Maria, and First Noel. So, good stuff. I like this old-fashioned Christmas music, or I guess reminds me of being a kid. This one is going to be thinking of Robert Z and his museum quality pieces of vinyl, his rare MoFi records and limited edition. He had the whole "Should I Open the Shrink Wrap or Not" contest that people on the VC will remember not too long ago. This is a pristine mint. He's probably going to be salivating and want to buy this from me. And oh, wait a minute, this is okay. Well, maybe it's a little bit less than mint. The Beach Boys Christmas album, and somebody wrote something on it. Yeah, I can see if Robert Z is watching this video. He's coming to join you, Elizabeth. Spinning around there. But anyway, yeah, I got that free, so that's my excuse, and I will upgrade it one of these days. I need to do that because this is surprisingly the record's in pretty good shape and is playable despite the condition of the album sleeve. But it's the Beach Boys. You've all heard this. They play these every Christmas on the radio. It's good stuff. I need to get a better copy, obviously. Another Christmas favorite that's Christmas Isn't the Same Unless You Hear, and several other people have shown this already on their Christmas video, so you know what that is. Good stuff, worth having. I like that album. Tony Bennett Christmas album. Good versions. I was actually playing this today. I've been playing through these for the past week or so, just because it's getting to be Christmas time and I like Christmas music, but some of these I hadn't heard. I try to play through these every year, but some of these I hadn't heard, so I wanted to play them just to update myself on them again. This is a good one. I like that. Kind of surprising, some of the things I don't have. I don't have the Sinatra, the Bing Crosby, the Elvis Presley, the Jackson 5 Christmas album, so there's still a lot of stuff that I need to get or want to get. I don't need to get, but want to get. Merry Christmas, Brenda Lee. It's got the famous Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, and then the rest is your typical Santa Claus Coming to Town, Silver Bells, Winter Wonderland, Blue Christmas, Frosty. Good stuff, fun stuff. I like that one. And speaking of Hey Hey Paula, Paul and Paula's Holiday for Teens, I picked this up at Doc's Records recently. They only made 3 albums and a handful of 45s, and they broke up about 64, 65. Paul, whose real name is Ray Hildebrand, went on to, I think he went on to do gospel music, and they still are around, and they still get together and do Paul and Paula sets, kind of an oldie set every once in a while. But it was interesting that I found, and like I said, Paul's name is Ray Hildebrand. Paula's name, I don't remember, but her name's not really Paula. They record company changed their names. They recorded this. Johnny Smith in Fort Worth, Texas, recorded the Hey Hey Paula song that went to #1, and then a major label picked it up and they changed the name to Paul and Paula because Ray and Susie singing Paul and Hey Hey Paula, and it's better to have Paul and Paula singing that. Anyway, this guy is from Joshua, Texas, which is just down the road from where I live. So that was kind of neat. I didn't know that till just the other day. We already talked about James Brown, but here's just one of his Christmas albums. This is a re-release. This isn't one of the original 60s ones. I picked this up. I got this for like $1 several years ago. So there's all the stuff on that is on that. So it's great. I mean, it's James Brown. Of course, it's great. The Kate Smith Christmas album. Yeah, what can I say? This is a garage sale. A couple of years ago, I got it for 50 cents. I like the cover because, no, I don't think the woman's hot. I think she, I watched the PBS, the Channel 13 Britcoms, British comedies on Sunday night, and Keeping Up Appearances. If any of y'all watch that, was Hyacinth Bouquet, the Bucket Woman. She kind of looks like the Bucket Woman to me. But this lady was a singer back in like the 30s, 40s, and 50s. It's like the kind of stuff your parents or your grandparents would get into. I played it a couple of times. She can sing well. She does sing well, or she did, I guess. I don't think she's alive anymore. It's not my kind of stuff. It's, a little before my time. It's nice and all, but I don't play it too much. It's just kind of a funny cover, and so, and it's your typical Christmas songs. Let's see. Now, moving along, I showed in the first segment of the music of the Christmas videos. This is old-timey Christmas songs from 1917 to 1959, and it's cool because there's a lot of stuff that's not familiar. It's not your usual Deck the Halls and Balls of Holly and Frosty the Snowman's. This has Jingle Bells on it, but everything else I had never heard until I got this, I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago. So it's folk, spirituals, blues, country, roots music, all holiday related, though there's a few songs on there that are kind of instrumentals and don't sound Christmas related at all. So why am I talking about that in the vinyl records section? Because Record Store Day, Black Friday, last year or the year before last, Death May Be Your Santa Claus, cheery title, and it is sermons, music, blues, jazz, gospels, and devotionals. There's the Record Store Day, Black Friday. I don't know if it has whether that was 2012 or 2011. Anyway, and my copy, I don't know if that's going to show up, 1230 out of I don't know how many they made. It's got a cool, there's the side that has the song listing for both sides. There's a Christmas tree. And what I thought was cool about that was usually the inside of the record sleeves are white. This one is black. So I guess it goes with the Death and Santa Claus thing. So that's cool, and it's the same as that other one. It's different. There's this and this have a couple of songs that are crossover on both albums, but otherwise it's different. You get Tampa Red, Bessie Smith, Casey Bill and his orchestra, Sonny Boy Williamson, Bo Carter, Butterbeans and Susie. They're back again. I talked about them in the first video. And you got this guy that's really cool, this guy, Reverend J.M. Gates, and those are the sermons and devotionals. And his sermons, Did You Spend Christmas Day in Jail? He Was Born in a Manger. Death Might Be Your Santa Claus. Will Hell Be Your Santa Claus? So J.M. Gates, he sounds like a real hoot and a load of fun, and basically everybody, except I assume Reverend Gates, everybody's hellbound. So there you go, just so you know. But that's a lot of fun. That's there's a lot of there's no, I I don't think there's anything that's really well known, but everything on here is the music is great, and it's that old timey, like I said, blues and folk and country from the teens and the 20s and 30s. So it is a lot of fun. It's old stuff from the Columbia, Bluebird, and OKOKEH and Vocalion 78 labels. Worth getting, worth getting. Here's a good jazz album. Kenny Burrell, Have Yourself a Soulful Little Christmas. Guitar, jazz, wonderful album. Little Drummer Boy, My Favorite Things, Way in a Manger, White Christmas, God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. Love the cover. Pick that up, and it's just a wonderful guitar jazz album, and very good for playing around the house on Christmas. And it's just so good that you can listen to it even when it's not Christmas. It's really good. I need to get some more Kenny Burrell. This is the only thing of his that I have, but it is wonderful. And along those lines, there's another jazz album, and this is one of my favorite Christmas albums. Jimmy Smith, Christmas '64 on the Verve, V-E-R-V, Verve label. And God Rest You Merry Gentlemen, Jingle Bells, Wreath Three Kings. This is one of my favorite Christmas albums. Actually, I was in Central Market grocery store last year, and I heard them playing this, and I thought, hey, I know that. That's cool. So if you're at all a jazz fan, even if you're not a jazz fan, track this down and pick it up. This is great. I mean, God Rest You Merry Gentlemen starts off with this just boom, boom, boom drum set, and it's like, I don't know, it's like God himself playing drums to introduce the album, and it's just majestic and wonderful and fun, and it's another, this is a great to put on if you're Christmas Day around the house, Christmas, Christmas party. This isn't, yeah, I don't know, maybe even for that, but just Christmas Day, Christmas Eve. This is great. This is one of my favorite Christmas albums, and this is one that you can play. Doesn't have to be Christmas. This is just a great, great album. 10 out of 10, I would say. So Derek Vaughan, we all know, he's one of the favorites in the VC. He played with these guys and said that they're music for people that, he said those guys are music for people that don't like music. And I can't totally disagree with them, and yet I kind of like a few of their things. I've got their first album, and I like a few songs off of it. And I'm keeping you in suspense here. She and Him, very She and Him Christmas. And yeah, he's kind of true. I mean, Zooey Deschanel is a lot of fun to look at, no doubt. I think she's really into music in real life. I don't know her, unfortunately, but from her interviews and movies and so forth, it seems like she really does love music, and her heart's in the right place. She could sing. She's not a bad singer. She's not great, but she's pretty good. And I think she's a little too, holds back a little too much, a little too mannered and polite in her singing. But their first album, there's a couple of songs that I really like, and there's some that are just there. Don't have their second album. I got their latest album, which came out on cool colored vinyl, and it's okay. It's got a few good songs, but this one, for just being and yeah, I mean, they probably are music for yuppies. Do they still have yuppies, or I don't know, they have a new term for that now, or your minivan moms and people that really don't like music. Derek's probably not too far off on that, or hipster doofus type people. But what can I say? I like a few of their songs. And the Christmas album, I think they do a good job. You got Have Yourself a Merry Christmas, I'll Be Home for Christmas, Sleigh Ride, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, which she doesn't do as good as Brenda Lee at all, but she does a good job. Baby, It's Cold Outside, etc., etc., Silver Bells. It's a good Christmas album. And yeah, it's probably, like I said, the minivan mom set probably has this at home for Christmas, and oh, what a great Christmas album. But nonetheless, I like it. It's got a cool, there's a snowflake. There's a whole bunch of snowflakes. Comes on red vinyl, and you get a little Christmas card from them with the track listing and digital download for the album, which was was nice. Inside of the envelope has snowflakes, Christmassy. I like little neat, pointless doodads in my records. So, um, another, can't go wrong with this. Los Straitjackets, rocking 13 rocking Christmas instrumentals, Marshmallow Bro, Jingle Bell Rock, Rudolph, God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. Great stuff. Can't go wrong with this. This is a limited edition, I believe, but it's still available. And I love the, and this is just great. This is, you got that Booker T and the MGs Christmas album, which I don't have yet and need to get. But I mean, this is, and the Safaris Christmas album, same thing. This is kind of up in that category. It's upbeat, guitar-driven Christmas instrumental rock, and it is wonderful, and you should get it. You'll love it. Speaking of Los Straitjackets, here is a 10-inch from a year or two ago, and these are, I believe, out of print now too. I got number 856 of however many they made, and it's a 10-inch record, but it's got about, I don't know how many, it's got about 10 songs, so, and it's the same as, there's no different songs than are on that first LP, all Christmas related, all great stuff, worth getting. We're at 21 minutes, so I'm going to stop and come back and do a part 2. And so, yeah, we'll see you in a few.